Hi everyone, this is Johnnyonoes, and I'm playing Mountain Blade Warband version 1.168, and in this Let's Learn episode, we're going to go over how to command your troops while in battle. The first thing you need to understand is how to select different unit types. To do that, use the num keys at the top of your keyboard. So 1 is infantry, 2 is archers, 3 is cavalry. So you go ahead and select that, and you'll basically see, let me select my infantry real quick, I have very few of them. You can see that only their icons are highlighted up to basically tell you who you're commanding. Everyone else is going to ignore any of the commands that you have to give them. You can also select multiple units by hitting, so if I hit 1 and then shift 2, I'll get infantry and archers. So basically, both of those units will follow my commands if I give them. So that is how you select the different units to give commands to. Now let's go over the various types of commands that you can give. So there are 3 main sections of orders that you can give your troops. The first one is movement orders, the second one is formation orders, and the third one is fire orders. So you hit F1, F2, F3 to be able to select those orders. Alright, let's go ahead and go to movement orders here. So if you hit F1, you get hold this position for F1. For F2, you have follow me. F3, you have charge. F4, you have stand ground. And F5, you have retreat. So if you hit F1, it will tell all your infantry, at least in this case, the infantry, to hold the position I'm currently at. If I hit F1 and I hold it down, you'll get a little flag that basically you can declare where they want to go. So I'm going to just go ahead and let go of F1, and they'll slowly move in that direction. Follow me has them follow you. Obviously, charge makes them... Well, charge just makes them attack the nearest target. Stand ground will make them stay in place, and they will not follow their adversary. And retreat will make them run for the edge of the map so that they can retreat. So that is all the movement commands that you have. Alright, let's go over formation orders. The formation orders you got is advance 10 paces, fall back 10 paces. So if you hit F2, F1, they will move forward 10 paces. F2, F2, you can have them move back 10 paces. If you do it multiple times, they'll move back the appropriate number of paces that you've declared. Just keep having them fall back, fall back, fall back, because they're getting closer to that Nord shield wall. If you hit F2 and then spread out, you'll have your guys spread out a little bit. If you hit F4, they'll stand closer. And if they happen to be cavalry, you can have them either mount or dismount their horses based off of your commands. Alright. Let's go over the last set of orders, which is the fire orders. You have hold your fire, which is great for your archers so that they don't shoot arrows or bolts well before the enemy is within range. You can then have them continue firing by saying fire at will, so that's F3, F2. And then for your troops, if you're trying to knock people out instead of killing them, you can say F3, F3, and it will change. They will change to either a blunt weapon in their inventory, or they will go with fists. Obviously, this is not advisable if you're in a big fight, but if you're fighting bandits and you just want to capture a bunch of them, have everyone switch to a blunt weapon. Let's see what happens when we move to our cavalry. So F3, F3, and they will switch to either like a mace or nothing at all. So it really depends on what your troops have in your inventory, which is really great for your companions if you want them all to be using blunt weapons. Then hit F3, F4 to use weapons at will, and they'll pick their best weapon. So that is all of the commands for each of your troops. I'm going to just set all of mine to hit 0 to select all my units, and then hit movement orders, charge, and away my troops go to wreak destruction on these poor Nords. As you memorize the commands, you'll be easily able to command your troops relatively quickly. So if I wanted my infantry to move up, all I'd have to do is F2, F1. I just keep hitting that. F2, F1, F2, F1, and my infantry will move up based on how many times I gave that order. Or they'll try to, because they're trying to get through horses. So just memorize, the 3 categories, which is movement orders, formation orders, and fire orders, and then try your best to memorize the second tier of orders. So if I hit F2 here, then you get all sorts of other commands. So if I hit cavalry, F2, F6, all my cavalry will then dismount from their horses. and so on. If I want to do F2, F5, then they're going to try to get back on their horses. This command doesn't normally work very well, but they'll try to get back on their horses, which ones they can find. So using those commands makes it really easy, but there is an alternative way you can use commands too. You hit backspace, you'll get a window that looks like this. If you select your characters, you can select your characters just as you normally do. You do 1, 2, 3 for your infantry, and then you can click on the screen over here to have them move to a particular position. So I've now moved my cavalry over here, and they're all going to try their best to get to that location. You can also see how many troops you have on the field, as well as the enemy troops, which ones are wounded, routed, or dead. You can also select all of the different commands here just by clicking on it, if that's what you'd like to do. But I feel that the F1 through F3 system is a lot faster and a lot more intuitive as you learn all the different commands. Another thing to note is that if you go into your party screen and select one of your units, you have the ability of changing their class of troop. And you can also create your own different groups if you wanted to. Like, let's say if I wanted to add all of my companions to a particular group, so unnamed one, and then you can name it to, companions. That way you can select your own groups if you want to. You can also change the class of troop for a type of unit. So if I wanted all of my sharpshooters and my crossbowmen to actually be to call out when I call out infantry, that means all of my infantry units, as well as these archers turned infantry, will respond to the commands that are given to the infantry. That will keep the infantry and the archers together, which is a kind of a nice tactic to use, but it's all up to you on how you want to do it. The important note is that all of your companions will start off as infantry, so it's good that once you finally give them a horse, or maybe if you give them a bow, you want to put them in the proper group, so based off of what weapons and what items they have at their disposal. Alright folks, so this is Johnnyonoes playing Mountain Blade Warband version 1.168. Thank you so much for watching my video, and if you have any questions at all, please go ahead and leave your questions in the comments below. Alright folks, catch you all in the next episode.